Hey guys!
Hey guys!
Welcome back to Girlhood to Motherhood and
Yes.
everything in between. Girl, how are you?
Girl, mentally going through it.
Girl.
Struggling.
Girl.
Trying to hang in there.
You are barely.
Yeah.
Real.
But,
Give us a little update on how you're doing. Just a little brief.
I am just, I won't say too much, but, I'm just really just trying to navigate through life right now. I don't know why, but I feel like when it's the holiday time, around the holiday time,
God.
I don't know why, but it always gets harder.
It does.
During the holiday time.
It does.
And
I think it's just like there's so much pressure on you and on us and on people to really have your things together and have everything in order before the new year.
Right.
Everyone's trying to get things, trying to like complete things last minute, trying to make the year worth it. But it's like, if it's a tough year, it's a tough year.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Like, don't try and wait till the last month or the last 2 weeks.
Right.
When it's just been a terrible year all year. Not for me personally. I mean, for me personally, I would drive it. But no, I don't don't fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like, be real. Like, that's what we're about. Like, be real.
Yeah.
So, like, gosh.
But how about you? How have you been?
Good. Good. I've been good.
Yeah. Life update?
So good. Matt and I are so good. Matt's my boyfriend. Nice. I got a new job. I'm so excited. I work at a women's shelter. That's all I can say. I love my job. I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. I love my boyfriend. I love life. I love the holidays. I'm thriving.
Yes.
2 different people right now. Because I went through that. I feel like that was like what you were going through right now is what I was going through this summer. Like, I feel like, not all of it, but like, I feel like I was really kind of like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I had to do like a full pivot, and I'm like, this is my last year of school. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I didn't like my job. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like where I was living.
Yeah.
I just didn't really like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that really ties us into what we're talking about today is like, who are we? Who have we been? And who do we want to be? So before we can go in the future, I think it's time for us to take a step back and look back on who we've been.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice that you would give your younger self? What would you tell yourself even a year ago?
I feel like I would tell myself to slow down, not get...
Where were you a year ago? Give us a setting. Dive us in.
I was up north. Girls up north, still in college, but I'm still in college, but up north in college, we're
the trenches.
Not the trenches.
The white trenches.
Depending on what part you were in.
Fargo.
Girl, we're not supposed to say.
Fargo's the trenches.
Listen.
Yeah.
But
the trenches.
Yeah. It was that bad.
Oh, it was hard.
It's not like Minneapolis where there's like a whole bunch of shootings and you're going to sleep.
Yeah, no,
that.
it's actually like the opposite. There's like nothing going on. Yeah.
It's like if you want to get away and be surrounded by nothing and just like have family up there,
go up north.
Yeah, where there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Yeah, but make sure you have like a really
there's
good
no
job
color either. You want to see the color up there? The color.
Listen.
The color.
No, what? Not even my color. My color.
It's tough. Like that's it.
Colorism, racism, everything.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you like? What were you going through? What were you struggling with at the time? And what would you tell your younger self, having made it through that?
I would definitely say slow down because I
grab the wall.
Not even
like you want to make it for all.
Shut
Keep going.
Anyways, so slowing down, reflecting on life.
Yeah.
And, taking in the moment. So take anything for granted. If there's opportunity, take it. I wish I would have done more. And I wish I would have knew what I wanted to do before. Like, I changed. Like, I literally changed my whole major within that year. And now I wish I didn't, which just kind of set me back to, I don't know.
What decision do you feel like you would do again? Like, what were you happy with, and what would you like wish that you changed? I mean, you can't change the past, obviously. Like, everything happens for a reason. But like, what do you feel like would have benefited you more if you were to go back and change that?
Something that like I wouldn't change, because like a year ago I did have my son, so I would not change that. But I would change how I wish I would have did things differently. Like I wish I was here when I had my son. Or like I did have my son here, but I wish like throughout my whole entire pregnancy, like I was here.
Yeah.
And I had my support system.
That was really hard.
I think that was like something I would definitely change. I also wish I would have just stayed here.
That's so crazy. It's like, I'm pretty sure that I told you to stay here. I think I was like, actually, like, yeah. I think when we were looking at colleges, I was like, no, you should stay in the cities. And you were like, actually, I'm going to go up here in the middle of butt frick nowhere.
Listen,
for this education.
We gotta experience it, and it was an experience.
It was an experience.
Yeah. But, okay, your turn.
Okay, a year ago. So it's like December, a year ago. A year ago, I had just gotten out of a really abusive relationship. I met the love of my life a little bit later. It was literally like I was in like the rock bottom, like on my way up. Yeah. Like, I mean, I was in rock bottom when I was in that relationship, on my way up. And as I was on my way up, I met the love of my life and the true sunshine to my life. So a year ago, I really did a full pivot. I really did. A year ago, I quit my job. I quit my job that I was planning on doing for like a really long time, because when I first got it, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I threatened to cut off my family because like I was having like familial issues. It was, being adopted brings out so many different emotions. Yeah. Right. And like I feel like the holiday season really pulls that out. So I was going through a lot of family stuff. My aunt had just died. So I wasn't feeling supported from my family. So I took a step back from my family and really just focused on bettering my life. I made a lot, like I got a car, I got a new job, which changed the trajectory of my life. Like I was planning, before like last year, I was planning on going to school to become a therapist, a teen trauma therapist. That's what I set my mind to. That's what I was going to do this whole time. I start working as a PCA for disabled people, and I ended up loving that job, minus being like verbally abused by my residents, but who doesn't? And it's crazy because like a year ago, I would have no idea how much joy and amazingness would have come from the year, like where I am now. Like I'm like, girl, you just wait. You just wait. If you think that it's hard now, girl, it gets so much better. And I want to say that to you too, is that like, just imagine yourself a year from now, and you're going to be like looking back on this, where you are right now, the struggles and the hardships that you're going through, and you're going to be like, I'm so glad I made it through. I'm so glad I stuck it out. I'm so glad I like decided to stay, you know, because I also like last year I was really at the brink of like, I don't want to do anything, you know, like I hated everything, truly. It was weird because it was like, I hated everything. It was like, I felt like I was attending a funeral. I did attend a funeral for my aunt, but I felt like I was attending a funeral of my past self. And I feel like I really chose to wake up one day. I literally woke up one day and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. And so I didn't. And so from that day on, I was like, no. And I started saying no. And I started saying no to things that didn't benefit me. And yes, I had to let go of things, and I definitely left claw marks on some of those things and some of those people. But looking back now from where I am, I would not be where I am right now if I did not let go of those people and let go of those like situations and let go of those things that like were not benefiting me. And I am so grateful for everything that I have right now and everything that I've been through, as hard as it was, and as hard as it gets sometimes, because like I'm doing good now, but that doesn't mean I'm not having bad days, you know. But it's like I'm so grateful for everything that I've been through, because it really brought me to where I am, and I've had the opportunity to share my experiences to people like you and to people like you, and what I've been through has helped me help other people.
Right.
And even in the past year, like all of the experience that I gained from the hardships are helping me now in my job, like literally at my dream job. And it's like, if I were to apply to this job a year ago, I would not have the qualities or like the qualifications for that, you know? So it's like, as terrible as this year has been, it was what I needed it to be. I felt with my relationship with Matt, like I felt so loved and cared for that it was such a secure relationship that I got to branch out and I got to experience different sides of me, and I got to explore who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, I felt safe in my relationship with him, where it's like in my previous relationship, I didn't feel safe enough to go outside. Like I would be skipping classes because I thought that he would be jumping out to kill me, genuinely. So it's like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my boyfriend. I am so grateful for the support system I have. I am so grateful for Monet. I'm so grateful for the people that pulled me out, because I don't know where I'd be if it weren't for them. But I'm so grateful for the year that I've had. And I'm so grateful for the decisions that I made a year ago. I'm so grateful that I decided to wake up one day and say no. And me saying no led to me saying yes to so many more things. And that's what I want to like share with you guys, is that the importance of saying no. You know, like say no when you can, so that you can say yes when you can. You know, practicing saying no and prioritizing your respect, practice saying no and prioritizing your worth and yourself, so that you can say yes to other things, so that you can say yes to the opportunities that are gonna practice saying no, so that you can say yes in the future, girl. Cause yeah, you have to wake up one day and just be like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And that's what I did, is that I didn't want to suffer like I was suffering for the rest of my life. I had done it long enough, and I did not want this to be, when I look back, when I'm like 80 or whatever, hopefully I make it to 80, I didn't want to look back and be like, man, I should have said no, because that like I don't want to live with regrets, which I try not to, but that's why I say no when you can, so that you can say yes for things that you deserve, you know? But yeah, dude, I'm so grateful for everything that I have. If I could say something to my younger self 5 years ago, even, where was I? 5 years ago, I was going through it. 5 years ago, we were
still in high school.
We were still in high school. And high school, I mean, period, is tough. Period. You're figuring out your identity. You're figuring out what you want to do. I think we're like juniors in high school at this point. So you're figuring out where you want to go to school after. You're figuring out like your after high school plans. But which is so weird, because when you're in high school, that feels like your whole world. And when you graduate, it almost feels like the world is ending, because the unknown, like you're stepping off of a plank and you have no idea what's next. You know, you don't know what's in the ocean below you. You don't know what's in the sky above you. You don't know if you're going to fly or sink. And I can tell you honestly, like 17-year-old Claire was going through it. 16-year-old Claire was going through it. Like my dad had just survived cancer. I had just been assaulted. Like that was like, I'm like 5 years ago, I was at the lowest, absolute lowest part of my life. I can like 1000% the lowest part of my life.
When did we start getting closer? Was it like senior year or junior year?
It was junior year.
Junior year.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we had always been friends, like friendly.
Yeah.
But it was really like junior year. We like were like tight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And which is, I'm so grateful, because I do not think that I could have survived junior year without you. You know?
Me too. Like I think we had like falling out friendships at the same time.
Yes, we did. And we literally survived.
Yeah.
we survived high school together. Like,
Literally.
truly, it was awful.
Through
the
hardest,
trenches of high school.
I think the hardest times were like junior year and senior year.
Yes.
Is like when you go through it.
Yeah, because you're figuring out who you are. You're figuring out who other people are also figuring out who they are, and sometimes that doesn't align with who you want to be and who you want to surround yourself with. So as we're like letting go of these past friendships and these friendships that we've almost had for like our whole lives, it's like, it's so scary stepping into the unknown.
Right.
And I am so grateful to have friends like Monet and people in my life to go through life with me, you know? Because like 5 years ago, like I would not have survived truly without you. Like truly. And I'm so grateful. But yeah, 5 years ago, I think my advice that I would tell myself 5 years ago is, again, it gets better. Like this is the worst. This is the worst, and it gets better. Exactly. But also, I think stick with it. I think that the one thing that I would say is stick with it. Like stick with life. Stick with your friends. Stick with Monet. Stick with your plan because those are the things that are keeping you alive, and those are the things that are keeping you going. Truly.
Yeah. If I didn't have a friend like Claire, I don't know. Like literally, she keeps me going.
I'm telling you, I've never had a friendship save my life so much as it has with Monet.
Seriously, but I feel like I would be lost, honestly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
she's literally someone like
girl, you'd be in the trenches without me.
Literally.
But what advice would you tell yourself? Like either us as a friendship or like your younger self?
Yeah, 5 years ago, again, high school, navigating life. I almost got in my first high school fight.
Stop it!
That was so scary.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, I've never been in
high school
life.
Drama feels like it's the whole world.
Yeah.
But you look back and you're like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, like we should have been able to talk about it.
Yes.
Instead of, which like I feel like eventually we got there and we did talk about it, but it was just like, bro, high school fights, crazy.
High school, yeah. Just like you're there to learn. Like fighting in high school is wild to me because it's never that deep.
Right. Like we can be girls. Yeah. We're supposed to be girls. Like we just talk about it. And
that's the thing, is like I like for me, I think that I realized that in like 11th grade is that it's never that deep.
It's not.
It's never deep enough for me to want to throw my face in front of your fist. Like truly, like if I don't like someone now, I just don't talk to them. I just don't give them any energy. I don't give them any, I just like the opposite of love is indifference. Yeah. So what in one sentence, what is the advice you would give your younger self like 5 years ago?
5 years ago, I would tell myself, don't take anything for granted.
Because it will be snatched away. Yeah. Right when you think you have it in, like, you have your life in order, bam, someone dies. Or bam, you lose a job.
Bam, you get pregnant.
Bam, you get pregnant. Yeah.
I feel like really like don't take anything for granted because growing up, like having that 2-parent household, it was great, but also like seeing parents that they say was love, but it wasn't love all the time, and having to see a lot of different, I want to say being traumatized from a lot of relationship dynamics.
Are you trying to say you don't want to repeat history?
I don't want to repeat history. You know, I want my child to grow up in a healthy household, be able to have 2 parents, be able to coexist with each other. Like, that's what I want. I want to show my son that he can live in a healthy household. But it's also like, it is hard, you know, having to be in a relationship and then having a relationship and then have a kid. It definitely changes the dynamic of the relationship, and you have to navigating that and being a team and a partner. It's a lot, honestly, and
because I think life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Right. So life isn't always, you don't always have a two income household. Right. Like navigating that is really hard.
Yeah. So navigating that, and then also just kind of transitioning between my jobs right now, like my career change and job change. It's shifting so much. So I would never take anything for granted. I wish I would have, I don't know, stayed on track and I knew what I wanted then, than doing it all now.
Yeah. It's hard to catch up when you're like already sliding.
Right.
So like building a better foundation instead of trying to make it top heavy, stronger on
Right.
top. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is some advice that you want to give your future self, or some goals that you want to set? Because this is like we're entering the new year.
Yeah.
You know, what is like one major thing that you want to really work on next year?
Something, you know, probably is being able to see like where I was today and making sure
The trenches,
that
mind you.
the trenches.
The trenches.
I'm going through the trenches right now. So making sure that I am in a healthy mindset and I'm mentally taking care of myself, because, you know, I know if I'm not okay, then my son's not okay. So making sure I'm good and I'm stable and
what did I say before?
What?
You cannot pour into someone else's cup from an empty jar.
Yeah. So making sure that I'm good would probably be my number one takeaway.
Yeah.
But
that's so important.
Yeah.
My advice that I think I would give myself next year is just live in the moment more. I know that a lot of big things are happening for me next year just because I have a lot of big things planned next year. But I really want to embrace living in the moment and not to like move too quickly and worry about like the next thing. Like I really need to work on living right now, embracing, being grateful for what I have right now, while also being thankful and looking forward towards the future. Because I think I get so caught up in the future planning, you know, that I don't take a second and breathe and just appreciate how far I've come so far.
Yeah.
You know, like that's something that I've really been working on with Matt is like, I'm like, no, like I'm doing really good right now. Period. Like leave it at that. Not like, but I have more. It's like, no, I'm doing good right now. Period.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really important for me. Yeah. Let us know in the comments, like, what are your guys' goals and aspirations for next year? Like, I don't want, like, don't set unrealistic goals because you're always going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But like, what is something that you can make a plan and can work towards next year? Whether it's like a physical goal, a financial goal. Like, tell us what your goal is and how are you actually going to achieve it. Don't just give us a random like, oh, I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to be a millionaire. How are you going to achieve that in a year? That takes people years. How are you going to do it? What are you doing differently than these other people? Like, give us a step by step. Like, because it's not only just for us, for you. Like, I think it's really helpful for me to lay everything out that I need to do. Like, make a plan. So that I know what I'm doing, so that I know what I need to work towards. I did that with my, because I'm setting up financial goals for next year, and I did that, and it's so much more like tangible and achievable for me when I see it in front of me, and I'm like, okay, this is what I need to do, this is how I need to break it up, this is how I need to budget. And I think that that's really helpful. Monet?
Yeah. No, I agree with Claire. Just let us know down in the comments below. And don't forget to make sure and like and subscribe.
And follow.
Follow
us on all social media. I know you guys be liking, but I want you guys to follow. Follow us. Follow our individual accounts. Follow like we have so much content on our own, and we are pouring that into this. And we really hope that you guys are loving and enjoying this because this is so fun for us. I love chit-chatting.
And we like communicating with you, and we do see your comment.
We
have not responded or will, but keep commenting.
I love it.
Know. DM us too.
Give us ideas.
If you guys are going through stuff, let us know. Like we want to talk to you. We want to connect with
Think of us as your older sisters.
Right.
Not very wise older sisters, but
aunties. We're getting to that point.
I am an auntie.
You are an auntie.
I'm Auntie Claire.
But come to
me. Yeah, come to me.
So yeah, let us know, guys. But
yeah,
thank
it's
you
been
guys.
so fun.